Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Um, I just want to share something about coffee. Coffee has been around for we don't know how long. All I know that coffee is very essential to hang out, be with family, be with friends after church, before church. Breakfast. Like breakfast is always accompanied with coffee. A lot of people don't accompany breakfast with coffee. They use juice and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes water. It doesn't matter. I'm not putting nobody down. I mean, that's your preference. My preference, since God knows how long, my preference is coffee with breakfast. I don't care what kind of breakfast it is. I don't care if it's Mexican, I don't care if it's Russian, Chinese. I don't care what it is. Well, I never had Chinese. I never had Chinese breakfast. I don't know how that looks like. I never had Pakistani breakfast. I never had Italian breakfast. I used to have Italian a lot of. I used to eat a lot of Italian when I lived in New York, and I never ate Mexican at all in New York until I came to Texas, and then when I moved to Zacatecas, Mexico. That's when I began to be exposed to this um, gastronomia. They call it gastronomia. I don't know how to say in English. I forgot. Anyway, I fell in love with the Mexican food. I fell in love, especially with the breakfast. I love the freaking breakfast. I love especially huevos divorciados. That means um, um, divorced eggs, which are two tortillas, one on this side, one on that side, and one is green and one is red. And they put an egg, and they put whatever they got. They put the refried beans, and they put la potatoes on the side, and then they put the red sauce on top. On top of each egg, one egg is red, one egg is green. They call it divorced eggs. Divorced. Now, I don't know who made that up. It's because of the color. One is saying green, stop. I don't know what's going on. They also got another breakfast that they call it migas. That is delicious. But not every restaurant they don't know how to make it. Okay, so I know because I've been to certain restaurants where there's one that is called Santos in San Antonio. The breakfast is delicious. I can attest to it because I ate there many times. And they got migas, and on top of the migas, migas is nothing else but scrambled eggs with toasted tortillas. That's all it is. And then they put the refried beans, and then the potatoes on the side, whatever have you, and then the coffee. And they put ranchero sauce on top. That is not supposed to be hot. It's not supposed to be spicy at all. It's supposed to be like a regular sauce that has a delicious flavor. That's all it is. Don't give me jalapeno sauce. Don't give me serrano sauce because it's not going to work. You're going to mess up. Unless the person likes spice, that's different. But me, my migas, I like it with ranchero sauce that is not spicy at all. And also, excuse me. What I'm trying to say is that breakfast is very important. And Puerto Rican breakfast, of course, I had that all the time, which is eggs, toast, Spanish coffee, Bustelo, and Yauco, whatever coffee you're talking about. And that's the Puerto Rican breakfast. And The American breakfast, of course, is the typical egg on a roll with bacon, and you butter it, whatever, and then you have your coffee with it. As a matter of fact, I recommend you people that are in Staten Island, New York, in Bay Street by Highland Boulevard. You know, Highland Boulevard has two Highland. There's one that goes from the north and it goes all the way to Tottenville. And then they got another Highland Boulevard, I believe it's Highland Boulevard, that goes across, and it goes right across to Bay Street, and it ends all the way by the water. And you could see the Verrazano Bridge. I forgot, I don't know if it's Highland Boulevard or something. All I know, there's a restaurant there called Bagels by the Bay. You got to go there, and you got to try the egg sandwich with bacon, real nice and toasty, buttered roll, because they make their own rolls, by the way. And the coffee is delicious. The coffee is amazing. It's strong, but amazing. So what I'm trying to say is that this restaurant is located on Bay Street. I think it's 1 block away. I think it's 1 block away from that main road, Highland. I think it's Highland Boulevard. I don't know what it's. I cannot really say, but you gotta try there. And what I'm trying to say about coffee, a lot of times, it can ruin your stomach. It can ruin your intestines. It could give you acid reflux. It depending if you drink a lot of it. I met a guy in AutoZone the other day. I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday or Thursday. This guy, he said that he was drinking so much coffee that it created like an ulcer in his stomach. Real bad. I mean, bad. Like, this guy is hooked to Spanish coffee, Cuban coffee that is very strong. So I gave him a suggestion. I said, listen, bro, why don't you try mushroom coffee? And I said, what do you mean mushroom coffee? It's coffee, but it has mushrooms, like 2 or 3 different mushrooms, and it doesn't give you the jitters. It doesn't give you reflux. It doesn't give you nothing. As a matter of fact, I drank this coffee at 6 o'clock at night, which I'm not supposed to be drinking coffee after 6. And I drank this coffee after 6 o'clock, and I went to sleep like a baby. Because when I drank the other coffee, the other Spanish coffee, believe me, I go through an ordeal going to sleep, but my heart is pumping real fast. I can sleep. I cannot sleep. And I get this thing, whatever. My pressure goes up. I wake up scared, like to death. And I said, you know what? Let me switch over to this coffee, mushroom. And believe me, it tastes good. You got to go to Sprout, or you can go to H-E-B over here in Texas. And any Sprout has it. It's called Lanard. I forgot. You're going to see it right there. It says Focus. It got like a red label, Focus, and whatever. They got three different kinds. They all like $16 a bag. But it gives you a long time if you use it moderately. And I recommend that coffee. I recommend it to anybody that you have problems with the regular coffee, the strong coffee, whatever. Stick to this coffee. It doesn't give you the jitters. It gives you mental focus. It helps you out. It does a lot of stuff. And also, there's another coffee in Mexico where I used to drink. And what you might call it? I used to drink this coffee, right? And this coffee, according to some people that I met over there, there was a lady, okay? There was a lady there that she said, and I believe that is true, that she was healed of herpes drinking that coffee. It's called Ganoderma, something like that. It's a black. It's like an envelope. It's like a tea bag. You know tea bags? They're square. They're like 2 by 2, and it's strictly coffee, but strictly with mushrooms. Some kind of mushroom that they use. And this lady, she said that she was healed. That she don't got it no more. She doesn't get it no more. And I believe it. And that coffee works in different ways. It can make you lose weight. I lost a lot of weight. In Mexico, I looked like a toothpick. And I had to stop. And it's a delicious coffee. You could drink it without sugar. It's much better. It does a lot of wonders. But what I'm trying to say is stick to what you like. I'm not telling you what to drink. I'm not telling you nothing. You do whatever you want to do. Whatever comes out of your underwears, you do whatever you want to do. But I recommend mushroom coffee if you don't want to get no more of the jitters, and if you want to be able to sleep and feel better mentally and all that kind of stuff. So God bless you and have a nice day.